Hi, listener.
Hi, listener. Welcome to Romance Writers Therapy.
I'm Marty V, and that's Kate Pryor.
Kind of low-key Tuesday.
Yeah, man. Sun's out though, and that like makes my life.
Right? Like the seasonal depress.
Yeah,
you can feel it like shedding like a snake skin. You're like, oh, sunlight.
That is like such a good way to put it.
No, like I like the way that sunlight, and like I'm an anti-sunlight person normally. I burn in 30 minutes, like. But like in that March, February area, I very much am like, oh God, I need to just cling to the window.
Yes. Anytime it comes out, I'm like, oh my God, old friend. Like... So, Caters, what's going on?
It's been a minute since we recorded an episode.
I know.
I actually went and looked up the
last recording.
Oh, I did.
Was it January?
It was January 20th.
Oh
when
my
I created
gosh.
The folder. Jan 17th. Oh, it says so. We did record. All right.
Okay.
Around then.
We did in January. Was our last one though?
Okay. That was our last one. We did 3 episodes in January somehow.
Congratulations us.
Right?
But like, listener, for context, it's now March 11th. So yeah. It's a good thing we started recording like so long ago because, you know, the plan is working. So, Kate, what's happening?
I'm kind of where I think we left off with my stuff before. I'm working on my supervillain, henchman, and the superhero's ex-girlfriend book. My title tentatively is "Be My Bad Boy, My Bad Guy."
I know, I love that. I thought that was so cute.
She I posted that in the chat, and she immediately just sent a link to that Cascada song, "Be My Bad Boy."
I don't know that song.
I didn't know it either.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
so you have like a built-in soundtrack?
Somewhere in the deep recesses of my mind, I think I'm familiar with it, but like did not think of it at all until she brought it up.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same place I was before, where I'm working on these edits for Remy and Alicia. And my title for that one is Remy and Alicia Can't Fall Again.
Oh, so, I like that. That's so cute.
I do too. They're so cute. And I'm writing some fresh chapters. I just finished big ol', like quotation marks around finish. One of the 3 chapters I need to add to this section. Dude, guys, this cat. I'm sorry. There's no taming him. He can't be tamed.
This is Pete?
Yeah, little baby Pete. Little baby Pete just being a little baby hellion.
I don't know that you can call him a baby. He's a big guy.
He's a big baby. That's
big
what
cat.
He is. He's a big old baby. He is a big cat. But like, you can literally like tip him upside down and like scratch his belly and like hold him like a baby, and he's so happy about it. So I do think he's a big baby. I also think that Pete is just like, he's just built soft in every way, right? Like, Pete was never going to be a survivor. He needs the life of luxury. And so he
when
is
you look at a cat
baby.
And you're like, you would not make it one day out there. Like,
no, that is not for you. Our old cat, Rufus, was like a natural born killer, right? Like, man, we always joked that like Pete would survive because he'd just be trailing behind Rufus.
Be like, I'm picking up the leftovers.
Yeah, mom and dad said.
Like, how much did you feel like you had a complete draft of Remy and Alicia's book beforehand? I feel like I didn't know where you left off on it before you took a break from it.
Yes, I did write like the end, and it technically could be a beginning, middle, and end sort of thing. But It was like the worst draft I've ever written, right?
Aww.
Like, and like, I was just so pushing myself to like meet certain deadlines. I just zoomed through it knowing that like editing's my favorite part anyway. And while writing that draft that quickly did do something to my brain that wasn't comfortable, I'm also like, wow, that might be the way to do this though. Right? Like, because editing is my favorite. Like, just getting a story with like basic themes out and the characters pretty well figured out, and then knowing I'm going to take a longer time in edits, I think that might help me do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think we've mentioned it a little bit before. Like the vision you have for your book while you're writing it doesn't always like line up with the
Mhm.
finished product, the reality of like what the pieces felt like, all the ways the pieces fell together. That we do so much work after the first draft is done in tying things up and making things connect more and making it seem like all these things were planned to fall this way when it's really just like strengthening those connections.
Yeah. Well, and then also, I've been listening to listener, if you haven't been listening to Brandon Sanderson's YouTube lectures, he did like a set of YouTube lectures where like he's literally teaching a class in like, Idaho? Utah. And he's literally teaching a class and he just has like the camera going and posted on the internet and he's doing it again. And like I know that we all have different feelings about different people, but he
Mm.
does give really good information. It's up to you if you want to take it, but I have been finding that input really, really helpful. And he does a really good job of not valuing one technique over another or one genre over another. So like it's pretty welcoming as this information goes. But again, we all have different feelings about different people.
Mm.
But one of the things that he talked about was like, as a discovery writer or a pantser, don't worry about your ending. Like it's not going to be very good. You're going to have to fix it in edits. And I'm like, oh, that feels so true to me. Like I have never written an ending I liked the first time around. It was always something I
Aw.
just had to anticipate fixing. In the editing process, like I do find a way for the ending to be good and for it to complete the story, but that first time around I'm always like that is like the worst thing I've ever read. Like it's not good.
Aw. I mean, so like this is something we were talking about like in the last couple of weeks because we're seeing a lot more people show up in our critique group section sessions.
Mhm.
So we're doing a lot more reading and sharing chapters. Like, a lot of people were talking about experiencing like the stage fright jitters of like and the way that
Mhm.
you perceive your writing while you're reading it out loud to in front of people is so different.
Mhm.
The criticism you're feeling towards it just gets amplified like 10 times. And I know I say
So
like a
much
100
louder.
times, like while I'm reading the chapter, like I'm tagging this sentence, it's bad. Well, literally. So then, like, one of our other members was reading and he said the same thing about one of his sentences. And then, like, I highlighted it and I wrote a comment, like, it didn't sound weird to me. So,
Mhm.
because, like, I think you can get so in your head about it, you know?
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
like,
and then it's you don't get to participate in what you create the same way
mm,
someone that didn't create it gets to participate with it, right?
yeah.
I think you sent me that. You totally did on Instagram. You sent me like a, I don't know, tweet or something. Like you don't like your own art because you can't you see how you created it. And so every time you try to go back and change it to make it look like you didn't create it, you're taking the one thing about it that makes it special, which is the you aspect, right? And I thought that was really
Absolutely.
great. And I can know logically that people are saying nice things about my writing and that they really like the story coming together and like all those things. But like I've expressed to you, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, last week or something. Sometimes when I'm listening to everyone else read, I'm so impressed by their writing that I am like, I'm not on their page. Like they're so much better than I am. And I've never gotten that impression from anyone else in the group thinking that about my writing. So it has to just be the
No.
messaging I'm giving myself. Does that make sense?
I do think you are like God. I don't want to like say you're one of the best writers in the group and then like dunk on anyone else in the group. I do think your writing is like very well thought through and like it's polished and I feel like you really put so much thought into the little ways that people interact that it feels very grounded and like realistic, which I think is so important for like a contemporary thing because when people are like acting weird in a contemporary novel it's like either the humor like clicks with you or it's like what the hell is going on,
Mhm.
like it's so easy to just not click with like people that I feel like that thought is just such a like scribble of a thought. It's all over the place.
But
Ugh.
thank you. I really do appreciate that. And like I said, like you can know something logically, but
Oh, for
sometimes
sure.
like the way it comes through in your brain is not through the logical route, you know?
Well, so like our brains are built to protect us.
That's such a good point.
And
Yeah.
I think, well, so like this is something that I've kind of gone over when dealing with my own anxiety is that your brain is creating like patterns, like pattern recognition, and it's trying to recognize something that may not necessarily be there so that it can anticipate it in the future. If someone says, "Oh, I hate it whenever someone adds like like let's say adverbs. I hate it when people overuse adverbs in, it makes their writing seem so childish." And this is like just someone's opinion, let's say. Or it could be anything. It doesn't have to be the adverbs thing, but that's the example I'm using. And then your brain go like, especially if that's someone you respect or like admire them or somewhat in some way, your brain is gonna go, adverbs bad, never gonna use an adverb again,
Yeah, exactly.
And that's like, to protect you. But like it's the ways you decide to protect, like your brain just kind of decides this is gonna protect me. Like, I'm sorry to like just keep running with this thought.
No, you're great.
Like someone was talking about, and this was so long ago that I'm like, I don't have any like hard references or citations for this. I remember
which was something that we usually come with, by the way.
Yeah, which is something it should come with.
We should.
We should. Will we? No.
Just not our vibe, man.
There's only so much time to dedicate to things.
Exactly. This is so true.
Yeah.
But okay, so you're not coming with receipts.
Yeah. I don't have the receipt on this, but if you will accept my return. It was that if you like, so you remember like doing homework and like you're having a hard time with it and your brain hates it because you're struggling with it. And then the next time you have to do your homework in the same subject and you go, I hate my homework. And then you start procrastinating. And the procrastination is your brain trying to protect you from doing the thing that caused you
that makes you
distress,
feel bad. Yeah.
Like your brain is like, don't do the thing that make you feel bad. And it kind of makes sense that like we kind of develop these weird habits about things that are kind of like they're not actually helpful to us.
Sorry guys.
Did he jump on you again?
No. My nail polish thing like slipped out of my hand and I don't ever respond with any sort of like chill. So everything's fine. But I do, well, and then also like the way that we're critical of what we create, I see how it's protection, right? Like I see how there was a time I like, presented something that I was really proud of. And then someone that, I wanted to say nice things about it, didn't say nice things about it. And it made me feel embarrassed and it made me feel shame. You know what I mean? Like I can see how all these things are connected and why then we struggle with, being confident in the things that we do. Right.
And absolutely. And like the sometimes, the notice me like kind of urge hey, I want the person who like I admire to give me compliments stuff. And like maybe they've had like a weird day and then they just like don't have the energy. Like the way we immediately go, it's me, I'm the problem. But like maybe
exactly,
just, I have this cycle very clearly with my mom. Like I have had this one conversation with her a number of times in my childhood where I would go, hey, you want to get ice cream? And she would be like, no, we're going to get dinner soon. Whatever reason. It's a no. And I would be, okay. And then I would go back to reading my book or whatever because I always had a book to read. And then she would like 10 minutes later be like, why are you so angry with me? And I'd be like, I'm not. I'm just reading my book because I'm bored. And she'd be like, you're mad because we didn't get ice cream. And I'd be like, literally, I ask for ice cream every 2 minutes. Like, I know I don't get mad when people say no because I'm gonna ask again in a minute.
I mean, like, but this is so true though. Andrew and I, like, we've been, it'll be 16 years that we're married in October, right? I know, bananas. And like sometimes one of us will be just like, it was this weekend. I was just kind of very like a bit in my head, a bit like looking around me because listener, we're moving unexpectedly. It's good stuff, but it's still very unexpected. And I'm just like looking around me, like trying to like make a game plan for how to do all this stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
And so I was
a nightmare.
Oh yeah, I was so in my head. And Andrew's like, there were a couple times this weekend he was like, are you sure you're not mad at me? And I'm like, I promise you I'm not mad. I just don't have a single thing to say. Like all of my thoughts are just so like constant. Like I could not if I verbalized what I'm thinking right now, I would overwhelm you. So like I promise I'm not mad. But like we all do that. Like we all tell ourselves these stories. There's like this thing that Brené Brown was talking about on one of her like specials, I think was on Netflix. She was saying how she and her husband had started to like, when they would get like upset about something, they would like say like, I'm telling myself this story. I said this and you felt that and now you're shutting me out. Right? Like sort of thing, right?
Mm.
And it's been really helpful in communicating like my insecurities in general. There's even been times in yours and my relationship that like one of us will text the other person and be like, "Hey, I'm just feeling anxiety. I said this thing yesterday. Was that an okay thing for me to say?" Right?
Right?
Like,
Like I've been thinking
yeah.
about the dumb thing I said for the last 72 hours. Please,
Yeah.
like help me. And
And
be like, I don't even remember the thing you're talking about. Like,
exactly. Yep. Didn't even
God,
cross my mind.
oh, it's so nice to be able to be told by someone like, oh no, I do not
Yeah.
remember that. Like, or like, no, I am not thinking about that the same way you're thinking about it.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it is so nice. It's like instant relief.
No, I had one of those yesterday where I texted someone and like, I it was a dumb joke and then it never got answered and I went like, is it me? Am I a problem? For like hours and hours, and I'm
Oh
like
God.
very like doing all of my little coping mechanisms very slowly. Of like I started. This is terrible. I was at the office, so I printed out a bunch of like pretty patterns on the office paper. Misuse of
Uh-huh.
office supplies. I cut them up into little strips and I started making myself paper stars because I was like, I need something to do with my hands and I got nothing else to do. And
That
so I made
sounds so pretty
57 paper
though.
stars. Ugh,
57?
57. I would
Wow,
have
it's a
made
good
more,
thing
but
that
I
they
ran
make
out
you
of
go into
paper.
the office.
Yeah, I ordered more paper, like legit paper, so I don't have to like keep printing this shit out.
That is wild, dude.
Yeah, no, like brains are, and the I think we're gonna get on this track of the narratives we spin for ourselves, the stories
Yes.
we tell ourselves about ourselves. And I've been like really trying to work on the story I tell myself about myself, which is that I'm an awkward person and I don't socialize well and I really struggle to open up to people and like be present in the moment. And I don't like my the way I
Mm-hmm.
when I meet people, I instantly dislike everyone and I have to like walk that back every time. These are like the things I hate about myself. And it's like, why
Oh.
do I keep just like treading this ground? Why can't I? Because these are, I feel like, they're not based in hard facts, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They're things that are subjective, but they are also coming from my attitude, you know?
Yeah. So do you feel like your attitude creates a scenario sort of thing?
Yeah, like it's a
Okay.
self-fulfilling prophecy. Like I tell
Yeah.
myself this and then I meet people that I want to go out and socialize. I meet people and I say something and then I think about it forever and then I kind of spiral internally while everyone else is still having a good time. And then I
Oh
just,
gosh.
and then
Yeah.
I end the interaction thinking, "Wow, I'm terrible at this."
And meanwhile, like no one thought that.
And like
Like
maybe no one
everyone
else
was
even
fine.
noticed, Maybe
Yeah.
no one else remembers the dumb thing I said.
Yeah, I think that's so like relatable.
Mm.
Like you find what you're looking for, right?
Yes,
So
exactly.
if
Hammers
you're
and
looking
nails.
for, yeah, absolutely. But like, and it is possible to reprogram your thought patterns and it is possible to reprogram your confidence and everything else. Like it is possible, but it is constant work, and it's really like, it's so easy because the pathways have already been created in your brain to lead
Yeah.
you in that direction. And so it's like, oh no, I'm going down that trail again and I have to like totally turn it around. And like there's certain things that like help me in those moments. Something I am working on right now is convincing myself that everyone is not actually mad at me,
Mm.
right? Because I spend most of my life being like, everyone's mad at me. I don't know why, but everyone's mad at me, right?
Girl, I've never
And
been mad at you. Like, not once.
that's so reassuring. So, and I don't think you're awkward. I think you're awesome.
Oh,
So, yeah, I don't know. Like the way our brains are is
our
very
brains
interesting.
suck, man.
Brains, what an
Brains.
incredible machine that's just built to fuck with
It's
you.
the shoot yourself in the foot machine.
Hilarious.
Still better than AI, though. Mm-mm.
Still better than AI. Yep, can't touch this.
Yeah.
So, okay, but back to writing?
Back to writing. Well, because like I'm trying to think about like how to bring it back to writing. Like I do this thing with a lot of my stories where characters perceive each other at like they have a very specific impression of each other at first, and then they
Mhm.
kind of have to like over the course of the events, they kind of grow past that. They realize, hey, you're actually different than my initial judgment of you.
Yeah.
Like I can say, so like my Be My Bad Guy working title story. You know, Lacey, when she first meets Ellis, she's like, oh, he's a mutant, he's a bad guy, you know, like the supervillain created him, you know, like, and so clearly he's like evil. But then like they're very chill when they're like around each other. So, and like that's a very like, I think, shallow kind of first impression. He also has a very shallow first impression of her. And like, I don't know how I'm fitting, like I put it 2 or 3 times in the book and I'm like, I gotta stick with just one of these. I cannot say it multiple times.
Yeah, I'm also having a moment where I'm like, you gotta edit some of these out.
Yeah. I've been doing this thing where like I find myself repeating myself throughout a chapter in a way that I'm like, does it need to be there to reinforce an idea for the reader in case maybe they, you know, are paying attention
Skim
more
this
at this part?
sentence.
You know, like sometimes, like, it kills me when I put something in the book and then I get a note from someone, especially if it's like the editor, like that drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Like, why does this happen? I'm like, I said it earlier. But like, what that really means is like, I need to make this more prominent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting away from it. You know, he kind of sees her as like a very shallow, you know, she's just a pretty girl, you know, she's not really a serious person kind of stuff. Like she doesn't.
Well, and he's
look
also
at the
got social issues with her boyfriend.
He does.
Yeah. And he has valid social issues.
But like he comes at her in like the wrong way about it. I think this book is literally just a lot of feelings about billionaires for me. Can't get away from it.
But wouldn't it be great if we could?
Oh, I would.
Wouldn't it be great if we could just get away from this wealth inequality?
I literally got to a point where like, and our critique group is not helping with me with this because they keep being like, she needs to rip his throat out with her bare hands, the billionaires.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, but I think it would be totally off-putting for this.
For the reader? You don't think the reader's on for that? You don't think every single one of your readers is like rabid? I
think they would be, but I feel like if she kills someone with her bare hands, she's gonna go to jail.
I don't know.
We can make it happen.
Seems like maybe he doesn't.
I didn't want to go too dark for the story, and that's why
that's fair.
I wouldn't follow through on that.
I wouldn't do that either. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't choose that for your story either. Like aside from like that's not my personal vibe. I wouldn't choose it for your story either. I do think that, like, I want the metaphorical version of that where her ex is brought very, very low, right?
Yeah. I feel like I need to keep noodling on this because I don't feel like I have a good way and that the ending... I'm doing that thing where I don't normally rewrite things. I don't like rewriting a chapter or scrapping a whole chapter. It happens, but...
But you avoid it.
For the most part, the first draft of something, like I'll tighten it up, I'll move things around, but I don't want to like redo it.
Yeah.
Because when I get too into redoing things, like everything goes out the window then.
I can see how that happens.
I'm trying to commit to this idea of like, it's okay that it's going to be imperfect because this is the level of skill that I am bringing to this story right now, and like whatever I have right now is like what's going into it, and it's gonna just be like part of the growth of my writing over time. Like that's a thing that I think is natural to every writer's portfolio.
I agree.
Every story after, hopefully you grow. I would hope that you don't slide backwards, but I do think sometimes we fall into that.
Well, I think that when it feels like we slide backwards is maybe when we bit off more than we could chew.
Oh, absolutely. Right? Like, and there are studies done. I think this is like the Dunning-Kruger thing. Where like the way that the level, like if you perceive yourself as being really good at something, no, let me start over. People who are not good at a thing tend to underestimate by a lot how much effort and skill is needed in a certain area, and they might even think to themselves like, oh, I could do that. It's kind of like watching TV and professional sports ballers are playing their game. You go, I could do that. Why'd you miss?
Well,
it's like thrown that.
It's like girlfriends asking their boyfriends or husbands like, could you in an emergency situation land a 747? Then be like, oh yeah,
right? And like all these guys are like, yeah, I could do it.
Okay. One of my favorite, and gathered Andrew does have more knowledge about vehicles than most people. I asked Andrew that question, and he was like, Jesus, no! Like,
See,
no!
I'm on
He's
team.
like,
I could do it, but that's because I've like done a flight simulator thing.
Okay, well, that is definitely more than most of these people
Like
have.
a tiniest bit of experience.
The
I would definitely
tiniest bit.
crash after landing. Like I would just like not know where the brake was after like touching down and like run into the side of a building.
I think that I'm really good at following directions, right? So, like, if I had air traffic control in my ear, we stand a chance of surviving. It's not great. I think hopefully someone else on the plane could do a better job. Like, a stewardess has at least seen the cockpit before, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. So, or a flight attendant, excuse me. So I don't think I should be the person. Like, they shouldn't be like, you look like you can fly a plane.
No, and I don't think I would ever like jump in front of other people. Like,
no,
if it's just me on the plane, like, okay, I guess I'm gonna give it my best.
I did that simulation one time.
But like other, like, not the kind of, you don't have time in those situations to really think about it, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're getting so off topic.
Anyway, I mean, yeah.
So that's like first group. And then like the second group of people is like people who have a certain amount of skill in the area, or are
so they can see how much they don't have
a little bit better like perception of how good they are at it. But people who are experts in the field know exactly where they know how much skill and like effort goes into these things, and like how big the scope of this, I don't want to say industry, craft, let's say, discipline.
Okay.
They will be much better at perceiving how good they are at something, but they will also tend to perceive themselves as bad at it, even though they are the expert in the field,
That is
because
so
they're very acutely aware of like specific shortcomings. So then there's like another thing where every time you kind of start to get better at something, you do start perceiving yourself as worse, because you're seeing those like, this is where I need to get better, and you see the deficiency. And so you go, I'm bad.
That's so wild. But yeah, I like very much see it again with the brains and the shooting in the foot machine.
Why did we build this? The shooting yourself in the foot machine?
Why? Doesn't it have any other function?
Nah, this is all it does.
This is it. Nope, just the one thing, yeah. We thought it could do this one thing really well, so...
Oh, I'm not even good at that! I missed! Oh, man. So where I'm at right now is, like, I want this draft to be halfway edited by the 18th. Ooh, okay.
Which honestly, like, I'm on par to do that. If the book ends up being as big as I think it's going to be. And also, like, I think the second half is going to be more of a challenge editing than the first. But I want to release on May 23rd. I could potentially release on, like, June 6th instead. But, like, man, we are just running head first at those dates. You know what I mean? Like, it's coming right up.
Do you have like an editing deadline that like that you're handing it over to probably Heather?
The 30th of April would be when I want this draft done. We'll see. It might be, I have my big like 2025 yearly planner up right now, and I wonder if I could buy 2026 already.
Yeah?
Yeah. It'd be pretty great to like, because it's just my writing schedule that's on this. And maybe that's the way it should stay. But like, if I could do like my promos and stuff like that, it's really nice to see it this big.
God, I wish I had like one more thought to like work off of. But I'm looking at the time like, oh, we made it 30 minutes in.
We're doing great.
We are.
Like, a listener, it's not like we watch the clock. We don't watch the clock when we talk to you, but we kind of have to pay attention, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you can't downsize it or it'll like mess everything up. So it is just there for you.
One more thought. Something I have been mulling over, because I was talking to Cara Dion.
Ooh, okay.
Who is so fantastic, right?
What does she do?
She writes, she's actually a listener.
Oh, cool.
That's how, like, I met her. She, like, I think she started following me on Instagram, and then we were chatting, and it turned out that she, like, listens to us. And I think that's how she found us.
It's wild that anyone does that.
Congrats. I know. Listener, you too could be our friend.
You
um, but so she writes romantic comedy, maybe leaning more towards romance and rom-com, but like she's really good. She and I were chatting about like our current projects and stuff like that, and I had like a moment of like, am I doing a good job? Because the way she was talking about like planning her book and like the things that she knows about her characters and like all this stuff was just so much more thoughtful than I could put into words about mine.
Aw.
And it's no I've come to the realization that she is likely more analytical than I am, and I am likely more intuitive than she is.
Hmm.
And so it's not necessarily that like she's doing a more thorough job than I am, as much as like she does things with more intention than I do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're kind of feeling your way, and she's kind of planning out like
Exactly.
specific steps to take.
Now, gathered, I know that she considers herself a discovery writer.
Okay.
But I still think that maybe her brain just lays more groundwork than mine does. Maybe I'm wrong. She's really clever.
Personally, I feel like by the time, like, I don't really know my characters and I don't really have a full sense of who they are as people until the end, like, pretty much the end of the book.
Yeah.
You know? And then I'm going back to, like, the beginning, like, how can I kind of support the person I know them as now earlier on?
Yeah.
You know, can I make them consistent? Can I make it clear that, like, this is a personality trait early on?
Well, and then I also feel that I don't necessarily know. It's like I know who these characters are. If I were to be placed in a room with them, I would be able to like read them, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I don't know what their, emotional wound is. I don't know what their arc is going to be within the book or like what their goal is. You know what I mean? Like I don't know those things until, like you said, after writing it and then like giving it more thought in the editing process.
Yeah. I think what I just start off with is like, some tropes, a premise, a setting, but like the characters themselves, it's like, I'm just kind of like, looking for inspiration around me for like fun things to like funny lines, interesting things, like things like that I can put in the dialogue. And then after a while it kind of becomes, well, someone who's like more reserved maybe wouldn't say this. And someone who's like very off the wall wouldn't say or needs to be more like everything they say needs to be more flavored by that.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of times when I'm because in the beginning, I'll get a sense of the characters, but a lot of times it is like, what sort of character would be interesting in this weird situation?
Right?
Right? And that's kind of how the character develops from like that first weird situation I put them in.
Yeah,
and they
like
grow
I've
from
been
there.
trying to I think like and it is by the end of the book that I kind of get to this place where it's like this character has been reacting in these ways so far, finding the right ending for this kind of character that you built.
Well, I think we did a great job there. Yeah. I think we had some honest conversation. I think we made some writing points. And I think we can
checking all the boxes off like
man, listener, you tuned into a good one.
I hope so.
I hope so. I really do.
I'm literally just rambling and going like, does anything am I repeating myself? I
think we have a pretty good through line. This is my favorite part of the podcast is when we start like critiquing ourselves live.
Oh, yeah, no, I'll cut this part out.
Oh, will you? Because that's another thing I love about the podcast is when you say that and it doesn't get cut.
See, that is one of my favorite things is when someone says, I'm going to edit this out and they don't. I think that's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, I do too.
Editor, cut it out here.
and then it remains.
They didn't.
So, Kate, do you want to give them a piece of writing advice?
Oh.
I have a piece of writing advice. You want me to go?
Okay. Yeah, you go.
Plan some unplanned time in your year. I did this with the expectation that, come the middle of October, I would just have time to do whatever I felt like doing, right? Like, yes, I have series, plural, that I have sitting out there. I can start one of those or I can write completely off genre. I can do whatever I want, right? And by planning that unplanned time, I was able to step into a series that like I'm really excited to be a part of. If I hadn't, I would have to completely shuffle all of my writing to accommodate it. And it might have not been possible. Right? So, yeah, I'm going to keep that little nugget in my brain for the years to come because it's been really helpful this year. And also, like, I do want to plan, like, unplanned time to be able to, write in projects that maybe wouldn't be covered by Marty V. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean like having another pen name for something in a different genre?
I don't know if it would ever actually be another pen name, but it would definitely be like a veer into a different direction.
Okay.
That, like, I have multiple stories, like, in my brain. One of them is a completely different format. Two of them are completely different formats. And I would like to actually get a chance to do those, right? So
yeah, like you've got that high fantasy project, you've got the horror story.
I know. And then I have the podcast that I want to do. So
no, I know.
You were like, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. But yeah, so I just, by leaving unplanned time, I created an opportunity for myself. And I think that's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Do you have that piece of writing advice?
I'm sure it's something that we've said before.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about, like, if you get stuck, if you write yourself into a corner, take 10 steps back or, like, go back a few paragraphs, as many as it takes to, like, where you feel like you can write yourself into a different direction,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I have been doing that a lot with my current projects. In this last couple of chapters, I think also, like, I want to say don't take yourself so seriously, but, like, I think if you're writing a serious subject matter, by all means do. But if you feel like the tone of your, like, I think it's so easy to let, like, the way that play happens naturally in our brain, like playing, having fun, like the imagination, the creativity, that can't happen while you're critiquing yourself. Critiquing cuts it off at the source. I think, like, that comes back to the thing we were talking about at the beginning, like the play, the you that makes your story unique, that the stuff you bring to it that maybe when the second time around you look at it and you go, what the hell is that?
Sometimes the things that, like, you do where you're like, oh my God, that's absolutely ridiculous, are the things that, like, create the biggest response in your reader.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's only because your brain got the chance to be goofy.
I could not tell you the number of times I've written a line and then highlighted it and said, maybe cut this. And then the response during, like, our critique sessions is, don't cut that. No, keep it. Yeah. It's my favorite line. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay.
That definitely happens, particularly with you.
Yeah, because I do say, cut the dumb line all the time. And then...
Yeah. And meanwhile, we're like, but it's such a good dumb line. Like, I love it. We fight for those lines because they're awesome.
So, yeah. The ways that, like, we feel, like, self-conscious, I think, really is the poison of the mind.
Gosh. Yeah.
Fear is the mind killer.
It's the shooting in the foot machine. There was this TikTok I saw where this girl was like, what if you just started telling yourself that everyone around you thinks you're really cool and really fun and they really enjoy being around you?
Yeah. It's I'm the hottest bitch at the grocery store and everyone wants me
absolutely.
Carnally.
And she's
surely
like, because
there's no
right
better
now,
mindset, and I don't know why we ever abandon it.
Yeah. Well, because, like, right now you're telling yourself a lie anyway.
Yeah.
That you've decided everyone around you is thinking
either way.
Either way. So you might as well just tell yourself a really nice lie. Right? Kate, where can they find you?
I'm at kate-pryor.com. I just updated my website today. So
nice.
Check it out.
I gotta do that. I need to check it out.
We need to give your website a makeover one of these days.
Yeah, especially since, like, my books page has gotten so big that now there's too many columns and it looks real goofy.
Oh.
Yeah. It just got too big on, like, Monday because I finally added accidentally under your tree.
You're like, all right. This is the one
so it needed an update. You can find me at martyv.com and you can find me at martyvauthor on TikTok and Instagram, Facebook, all the places. Yeah. And yeah, listener, thanks for being here.
Yeah,
I feel like I should welcome them. Yeah, I feel like I should welcome them into our, like, new season, even though this is, like, midway through the season, but we just haven't recorded in so long.
4.
Is it really? You know, it's a good thing we're doing this ahead of time.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Well, listener, you are the best. Thank you for being here.
Bye, listener. Bye.
Bye. Are you doing your thing? Are you being weird?